The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Welcome to the Global Latin Factor Podcast. My name is Crispin Valentin, where we talk about the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. Pretty much everything you can think about Latino, salsa, like the dancing and the regular salsa, and anything that is related to our Latino culture, we'll talk. And today, we have another very special guest. She is the president of Rosemary and Root. She has a few businesses, catering and event. She's a tax preparer. She does also sells adult toys, shirts, and different things. And she began her first business, catering business, at the young age of 20 years old. Melissa Torres Ramirez.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate you very much coming out. I know it was a little bit last minute, but I appreciate you. I know you have things to do and stay very busy, but I gratefully appreciate your being here.
My
because
pleasure.
I feel that you do have a very interesting story. And, this is the Global Latin Factor Podcast, and we like to talk about different things, especially people that are doing something for themselves that started at one place and are now at a different place. But before we do that, it's more like an icebreaker. I think it's kind of fun questions and some like a rapid fire type of questions. Ready?
Yes.
So this one's a preguntas al chile. Don't be scared. This is just facts al punto, pretty much is what it means. Just want to get the roots. There's going to be tough ones. Ready?
Okay.
Tacos or tortas?
Tacos.
All right. Corn tortillas, flour tortillas?
Depends on what I'm eating, but corn. I
All
like
right.
corn.
Gorditas or sopes?
Sopes.
All right. Coca, Mexican Coca or jarritos?
Water.
Water. Good. Nothing wrong with that. Horchata. Oh, speaking of water, horchata water, Jamaica water, tamarindo agua.
Horchata.
Horchata. Salsa verde, salsa roja.
I'm allergic to jalapenos.
Really?
I can make both.
Well, you can do the salsa verde with. So, are you allergic to all the peppers or even serrano?
Yes. I don't
Really?
eat any spicy food.
Whatsoever?
I can cook it all, but I have.
Do you have to wear gloves to cook it?
Yes.
Really?
I
Wow,
do.
very interesting. You're the first person I ever met that's allergic to peppers
Yeah.
or spiciness.
That's what a lot of people tell me. I'm so weird.
It's not. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's kind of.
Especially because I'm a caterer.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like real, like different.
Because my food is 100% authentic Mexican, and
Yeah.
people are like, "How do you make this and you don't taste your own food?" I'm like, a real chef really can just smell their ingredients.
See, what
they don't need
happened
to
was,
taste.
no, you need to tell them the truth. Your ancestors tell you when to stop pouring the ingredients, so you don't even need to
No,
taste.
it's just the sass.
Yeah.
That's just what you do.
The sazon. All right,
Yeah.
check it out. Menudo or pozole?
Dang. I
Tough
can't
one.
have puerco anymore, so I go with menudo.
Menudo. Okay. Churros or sopapillas? Going with
Sopapillas.
Okay. Corona. I don't know if you drink, but if you do drink, Corona, Dos Equis, Modelo, or Victoria beer.
In my days, it was Patron and Corona.
Okay. Tequila or mezcal?
Tequila.
Tequila Patron, you said. Okay. This one doesn't apply to you. We're gonna ask. Valentina, Tapatio, or Cholula?
Valentina,
You had some,
I've had it before. On the little chicharrones.
and you can eat that and nothing
I
happens?
was sick for a couple of days, but I can honestly say, it was good with a little bit of lime. My kids thought it was pretty funny.
All right. And you know how the conchas have different colors? So do you
Yes.
like the brown
White.
ones, the white ones? Okay. Margarita con sal o azúcar?
I've never had a margarita before.
You never had a margarita before ever in your entire
Not when
adult
I
life.
drink. I always thought those were like foo-foo sissy girl drinks.
I mean, you're a lady.
I know, but like I drank tequila like a man, so I was
Okay.
just like,
So you're straight shots.
yes.
You know, we don't even do it right as far as like,
I was always, when I drink, I was always liquor was quicker.
no.
So
But even then, you know the tequila drinkers, they just sip on it. They don't just, we're the ones that do it
No,
here.
I just-
like, yeah.
la echo para atrás.
You just want to be like,
So I've never had a margarita.
interesting. Refried beans or borracho beans?
Refried beans.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I asked you, I don't know if you ever been interviewed before, done anything like this before, but I feel like this is for you as far as interview. I know I'm going to ask any questions, but I just feel like sometimes maybe you want something that you want to talk about, and maybe you're not given the opportunity, or I don't go that direction. So what will be 3 questions that you wish I would ask you or would have asked you about during this time? What will be one?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm an open book, so.
Okay, so there's one that I would like to ask because I seen something on your thing. It says mentioned something regarding a heart attack. I didn't know that.
I did. I went to my daughter's room and I felt really lightheaded, and before I knew it, I was being ambulanced to Baylor of Dallas.
Right.
And while I was there, they told me that I had quite a bit of blockage in my heart, and that it was because I was very overweight. I was 259 pounds.
And that was how long ago?
That was in 2018.
Okay.
Of February.
Okay, so about 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then, so you were taken to Baylor to the hospital, and then
I
they
was
told you
taken
what you have.
to Baylor of Dallas, the Robert Building, and they're like an amazing hospital. I had amazing doctors, but I also had a doctor that was very like real with me. He was like, "You wanna live like till the end of the year, or like, do you want to see your children grow?" And I was like, "Well, okay." He basically told me, he's like, "You need to lose weight. You know, you have a lot of blockage in your heart. It's because your cholesterol." Like, I went in there with like almost 400 of cholesterol. I mean, it was pretty bad.
What's the scales? Because I don't know. I've never had.
I mean, I don't know actually.
400 sounds like a high number.
Yeah, I mean, I know that that's not normal. I mean, I'm now 164, so that's, my doctor is very happy with me. But they basically told me that I would have to stop eating a lot of stuff. Basically everything I loved. And when they told me, I told the doctor that he could really just go like play in moving traffic.
Okay, so when he said that, as far as when he was talking to you, I know you say he was pretty serious and direct. Like,
Yeah,
did you
he
take it
was.
like that? Really? Like, it
Honestly,
was like that?
I want to tell you that in the state of mind that I was in, I want to say that I was kind of scared. But I've never taken well to anybody who's tried to tell me what to do. I
feel
kind
you on
of
that.
do what I want to do. So, and I come from a line of women who, I mean, very strong, basically, no matter what they eat, no matter what they've done, I mean, they're still here. But I had just recently lost an aunt that was very close to me. And
Due to?
to a heart attack.
attack.
Yeah, well, I mean, she had other problems, but ultimately it was, you know, that's what gave out on her at the end. So, more than anything, when they first told me that, I left the hospital with no intentions of changing my diet, no intentions of ever changing my lifestyle.
So he went through one ear and out the other.
Pretty much.
But what made you, because even if you mention your grandkids and spending time and nothing clicked on you, what made you want to change it? Because you have changed your diet.
My son actually, I had an aunt who took care of him till he was 4 years old.
Right.
And we lost her that October. And she was like his other mom. And she took care of him from the time that he was 4 weeks old till practically she pretty much couldn't do it anymore, like when she was sick. And my husband had taken me to the living room, and my son, my mother-in-law was taking my kids to school for me. And my son, I asked him to go get my medicine, and he kind of like got on his little knees and he asked me if I was going to leave him like his tia Ma did. And that's what he called my aunt. And that broke me. That really hit me hard. The look in his face was more like, oh my God, like, for my son to say something like that to me, it hit me in the heart. So for me, that was my wake-up call to where I had to get it together. So I want to say that I ate what I wanted for the rest of that weekend, and then I went to my dietitian, I went to a nutritionist, and they shocked my body for 6 months. They took...
What does it mean when they shock your body?
So basically, they took sugar, salt, any type of bread, tortillas, rice, pastas, pork and soda were the two things that I was told that I had to give up indefinitely because
too much grease and too much sugar.
And then all the fried food. So I basically had to get up and like anything white, like ranch, mayonnaise, all of that stuff. I had to give up all of that. And I did that for 6 months. And I started just dropping weight.
Like drastically.
Yes. I've lost 120 pounds. I'm 137 now, and I was 259.
Awesome.
So it was a long journey. I can honestly say that the hardest thing for me was like when you said Coke, or was it Pepsi?
Yeah, Mexican.
So for me, it's crazy. Somebody will say like, "How there's no such thing to be addicted to Cokes." That's a lie.
You can get addicted to people. There's such thing as withdrawals from caffeine, right?
Oh, I mean,
if you stop drinking caffeine, let's say you drank for wherever time, and you stop for a couple of days, like you'll feel the headaches and things like that. They're real. Caffeine withdrawals are like a real deal. You know
man,
what I mean?
A guy, like when he sees a sexy woman and he's like, oh, dang, that was for me with the Coke. That was sweating a can Coke. I was like, oh my God, like I want that so bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't care whose it was when we were at a party. If it was my husband's or my mom's, I would go drink their soda. I'm like, dude, that's mine now. So no, it was, and I would drink all sodas. Never anything diet.
Yeah, and the caffeine and the sugar are both, because all that is created by our gut that craves that stuff. So it is addictive.
And another thing that I had heard of too was the intermittent fasting. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's basically when you eat, of course, you're creating the insulin in your pancreas and all that. So basically, if you eat, I wouldn't eat after 7, and then I wouldn't eat until like 7 in the morning.
Intermediate fasting, where you go like a 16 window without eating.
Yes.
And then, which is, if you think about it, I tell everybody, I've been recently saying it more vocally, is like we overeat a lot.
Yes.
Like we really do overeat a lot. And not only that, let's say we get to buffet, like, and party one day, right? And eat a lot. And that's fine because it's a party.
Yeah.
It's only there. But can you allow your body to go 10 hours, 11, 16 hours without eating nothing to allow to digest that food? And we don't ever do that, because immediately what happens the next day? Breakfast.
Yes.
You know what breakfast origination of the word breakfast? Breaking fast. Meaning just breaking the fast of the time that you last had a meal from the time you're going to be starting to eat. That's where the origination of the word comes from.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, well, the cereal industry started pushing it more because it's beneficial for them to sell more, because it makes it trendy and everybody wants to eat breakfast. But it's nothing to do with that. It's just breaking the fast. But we never allowed the time, like you said, the 16-hour time to process the food, right?
Yes.
So you started doing that.
So that's how they told me that I needed to shock my body. And I remember the first time I ever went to go see my nutritionist, she was like, there's going to be times when you are going to hate me. She's like, I have been called every name in the book. She said, and I'm pretty sure you're going to call me some of them choice names. I will not take it personal, and I will not get offended. She said, what I will do is, she said, I will get you in shape, and I will end up being the most favorite person in the world to you. She said, because you will lose your 40 pounds. And she said, and that's got to be your goal. But I remember when I spoke to the dietitian, she said, don't have a goal weight.
Yeah.
Because if you have a goal weight and you don't reach it, you tend to get disappointed, and people tend to eat their feelings. And then you go into like a depression, because they say that people who are overweight and they tend to they set a goal weight and they don't reach it, they can fall into a depression. And I was already depressed, because for me, I was a foodie. Food for me was life. Of course, I cook every day. I mean, I love to go to different restaurants. I will try anything once. And I'm the same way with my kids. Like the first time I ever took them to Olive Garden, I used to tell them that the calamari was chicken.
We used to do that to my nieces too.
And all of my kids love calamari.
I used to love it too back in the day.
My husband, that's how we got him to try it. We were like, that's chicken.
But Which is really good. It was really good. Not no more for me.
They mess it up now. They messed with it
I
now.
don't know. It's been 4 years. Remember I told you because I've been hitting her up about her menu.
Oh, my God. He wants me to go vegan.
Nah,
people.
I didn't want her to go vegan. What I told you is just like I told the homie Kilo Artefacto artist is that he makes some empanadas. I think I told you about him. You're missing out on some bucks. That's all I'm saying. Nothing to do with me. You just give me another option for me to try something different.
So I do have vegetable options.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I don't know about besides vegetables, what else can you do?
You'd be surprised if you start looking at it how much easier it is to make something, and pretty much it's just on the spice and a plant-based protein that you can supplement, and that's it. Everything else is the same.
Okay.
I swear it will be the same. But again, believe me when I tell you, from the 4 years, 5 years that I've changed to the time now, 4 years ago there wasn't a lot of options, like limited amount of options, to now. I mean, it's everywhere.
I'm not gonna lie. It is. They even did it at Burger King. They have a plant-based burger.
Yeah, Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, and you know what? I haven't tried that, but I think I'm going to. I'll just cut off the bread.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm not gonna say it's the.
Is a black bean burger the same thing?
No, it's Impossible Meat, which is like a plant-based substitute type.
But is a black bean burger, is that considered vegan?
Yes,
or no?
black bean burger is without cheese. It's just a patty made out of black beans. That's all it is.
How are you gonna have a burger with no cheese, Crispin?
They got vegan cheese now, which is made out of either almond or cashew or different things.
I love almond milk.
Well, you'll have that stuff. So anyway, I'm just saying, don't miss out on bucks. That's all I'm saying. Because you be surprised how many are very loyal to go to you every single time to go.
Well, I can definitely. Well, I mean, with my job, I have been creating different things, and I have I created a fresh menu.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a healthier menu because I had a following of the weight that I lost and stuff. I learned how to cook different.
Okay, so let's start from there because I know, again, I'm happy you're here. I'm good. And so now, as far as the health, and have you exercised or anything like that, walk and different things?
I do. Yes, I did. I would do the exercise. I didn't do a lot because of course I do have asthma, so I'm not somebody who can run, but I would make sure that I at least did 30 minutes of whether it was walking, doing some weights, a little bit of, on the catering truck, I'm lifting cases of Mexican sodas as it is daily, and as much as I was on my feet and then walking around and stuff, but I would always try to do at least 20 or 30 minutes
Let me ask
some
you
type
this.
of
Let me ask you
exercise.
this, and morally, as far as because you do catering, right? It's a big dilemma that you're addicted. That you're allergic to pepper. And it's a big dilemma that you're not able to eat certain things that you prepare. Mm-hmm. Is there anything in your mind that comes up as far as when you're catering and you see the other people eating a certain way? Is there anything that pops in your head?
Sometimes, I'm not going to lie. This last event, I had a friend of mine, Rochelle. I did her daughter's quinceañera. Mm-hmm. And I did bistec ranchero with poblano spaghetti, and I did costillas in salsa verde.
Which is not that bad.
Rice and beans.
It's pretty decent, healthy, except for the pasta. But
yeah,
it's not that bad. It's a decent option.
My costillas verdes were oh my God, they looked so good. And I swear I wanted to be just a little bit with a tortilla, and I couldn't. I was oh man. So yeah, there are times que se me antoja. I would like to taste some things. And sometimes I push it, that poblano spaghetti. You're literally supposed to put a serrano in there. But I don't do that because I can handle a little of the poblano because I take out the seeds or whatever.
Yeah, they're not spicy at all.
No, not. Well, it's how you pick them. So I learned how to pick the spicy poblano. So basically, if the stem is, the longer it is.
Oh, yeah.
The spicier it is because it's had longer.
It's actually the little veins. The little veins.
Well, I guess that's where. Yeah, I guess so, because when they're really long, they're all the way through. Yeah. So they say those are the spicy ones. So I always pick the ones that practically have nothing on there.
There's a little chemical in the veins because I did an episode by peppers.
Oh, really?
And the little venitas is the ones that actually the reason why it's spicy.
That's crazy.
But you don't what about serving other people? Because now you eat a certain way and then serving them. Is there anything in conflict at all?
Not really no, because I don't cook the same like I used to. I actually do,
So even your options for the people that you're
Yes.
catering to is a little bit better than
Yes.
if they were to get it anywhere else.
Yeah, because before it was straight manteca with
Manteca.
everything, and I don't do that anymore.
Jeez, manteca so bad.
Yeah, no, like I know how to make rice with grapeseed oil,
Yeah.
with avocado oil.
Avocado.
If you ever have any type of Mexican rice and you eat it with avocado oil, it's really good. So I remember when I was going through everything with my diet, with my nutritionist, she was like, start using avocado oil.
Okay.
And I was like, but isn't olive oil better? And she's like, well, avocado oil is really good.
Avocado and coconut would be the
Yes.
top two best.
And I love coconut oil.
Yeah.
But God, it's expensive.
It is very much. And avocado. Oh, let me tell you a dramatic story. So I bought avocado, expensive, right? I bought a bottle. I'm carrying my groceries to my apartment.
You dropped it and broke it.
No, the freaking the bag ripped from the bottom, and my freaking oil fell. My bottle of oil is glass, so it fell. So I'm like, it looked intact. So I'm like, yes. So I'll just come back. For all of a sudden, I start seeing the oil come out. Well, the freaking glass cracked. A little piece of glass fell off, and the whole freaking oil started pouring. And I'm like, that's like $15.
You know what I would have done? I'll be like, let's just pick the glass out.
I tried, but it was already gone. It's too late. All right. So as far as your health now, like where are you at as far as right now? You think you're where you need to be? I know that she said no goals or anything, but as far as for you to feel better, of course you have to notice 100%.
And you know what? It started off just like a lot of people used to make, well, like what kind of diet are you on? No, that's the thing that I had to choose. I had to learn how to. It was a lifestyle change. It wasn't just it wasn't just what I ate. It was how I prepared even food for my kids.
And your husband, everybody, the whole family,
yes,
they have to be used to it.
I won't even buy sodas. I literally, my husband, if I buy like a 35 pack from Sam's, it will last. And only because he'll drink them and my son will get one every once in a while. But even then, I've turned my son more to like tea or I buy him these like little, because I have to make my son lunch every day for school.
Right.
So, because he says I'm his mom and it's my job.
I don't know.
And I'm like, dude, I have to make your dad lunch. No, you're my mom. It's your job. Like, on
Kid's
Fridays.
pretty smart. You got a point.
No, on Fridays, I'll tell him, like, I don't make your dad lunch. So you need, no. You're still my mom. It's your job. I'm not my dad. I don't care. I don't have friends to go out to lunch with. He goes, you still need to make me school lunch. So I buy him these little packages and I just put it in a bottled water. And it has like no sugar in it. And he doesn't even know. And he loves it.
That's good.
So I'm trying to I told my husband if he would stop drinking Coke. And he's like, in your dreams, Pedro. And I'm like,
I think though, so a lot of the things that you were going through, it had to be a lot of mental stuff too, and discipline, and still to this day.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I want to say the first 2 months that I started on my weight loss, trying to do everything, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, I think Wingstop cussed me out because I would go through the drive-thru. I want to tell you probably the worst 2 times that I had was I went through the drive-thru at Taco Bell. I ordered. And then I was like, just forget it. Just cancel. They had already made my food at the Taco Bell on Buckner. Like, I know that they wanted to just throw the food at me.
Sometimes it be taking too long, and you just got to drive off, because I've done it before. Like,
and so, no, I was the only person in the line. It was like 6 o'clock. I was trying to cheat, and it was weird because I never knew that my dietitian put a locator on my phone. So she knew I was at the Taco Bell. She's like, where are you at?
Well, the thing is that your conscience got the better of you, and you were able to drive off, even though you made them mad.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they probably were eating them in the back
That same night, I did it 3 times. I ordered the food 3
times?
times, and I went out, and then I came back in, and I went. And then I went, and I parked in the parking lot, and I cried. Because I was like, I want Taco Bell so bad. And, they were doing the Doritos Locos tacos.
Yeah, they were bomb.
And
they were the bomb.
I was like, And the second time was when I did it at Wingstop. I went in, I placed my order.
But even Taco Bell started to do a vegan menu.
Seriously?
Yes, they are.
What are they doing
They
for
have a
vegan?
veggie option. I'm telling you, they have a bunch of meat supplements that you can use instead. It's the same thing. It's
I'm
just
going to have
the
to look
spices.
into that.
It's so much easier, I guess.
Let me tell you, when we do the thing in November,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have something for you there.
All right.
Don't worry.
I'm not pushing your agenda, but I don't want you to miss on some bucks that is coming, and is a big wave. All right, so I'm glad again that you're here, that everything worked out for the best, and you're staying disciplined. Because here, okay, so I've been saying this lately because I've been hearing this guy, and it makes a whole lot of sense. You have to do the right things in order to. You have to do the things right in order for the things to be correctly right. Like if we were to eat correctly our entire life, let's say we veer off here one day off, nothing wrong with 2-3 times a year that you might do something like, let's say bad, drink soda or whatever. But
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and my birthday.
But for the most part, if you do everything the right way, the right things will happen, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't think about it that way. We think we just, would catch it up later. But then you get to be 300 to 350 pounds, and it's a whole lot harder than just maintaining just a decent weight, even exercise. Because if you think about it, even our ancestors used to be moving around all the time.
Yeah,
and
the one thing that my cardiologist told me that, I mean, even my dietitianist and the nutritionist, they said that they were extreme. It was 2 times harder for me because I have no gallbladder. So
Really?
I have nowhere to like break down, my fat or anything, because that's what you need. So they always say that when you lose your gallbladder, you gain like 40 pounds, like real quick. And it's true, because I want to say that it just, when you eat and you have a gallbladder, like has somewhere to break down your fat.
Yeah.
When you don't have one, it just stays there.
So you had that too?
I lost my gallbladder.
Did it burst? That's dangerous, I heard.
Actually, I had
Was that your appendix? Appendix burst.
Yes, the
gallbladder is something different.
is the stones. The gallbladder stones. I had 11. I had
Ouch, for
and
the
2 of them-
sodas. From the sodas.
Well, actually, it was from the first time that I tried to lose weight, but I did it the wrong way.
What caused them? Did they tell you?
I started cheating. So I lost like 60 pounds in 3 months.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's 20 pounds a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I would only eat 1 time a day.
See, I don't see nothing
That's
wrong
why I
with
said
it.
I did that the wrong way.
Well, I don't see nothing wrong with it up to a point, because there's people that can, but it depends on what you eat.
No, speaking from with doctors and stuff, you're not supposed to do that, because your metabolism, you have to eat for your metabolism to work.
Yeah.
So when I did it, the first time I did it the really wrong, and I was doing it for the wrong way. It wasn't for health. It was because, I was just trying to look good in a dress.
Okay, this is a public service announcement. People that work out because they want to look good naked on their birthday suits. Let's just be realistic. It's nothing to do with health benefits or anything like that. Okay. Yeah. And like she said, or a swimsuit. That's the reason why it's all materialistic and everything, but that's the reason why we do it.
Honestly, it was like, I had just had my daughter. I gained a lot of weight, and I wanted to lose it, and I wanted to lose it quick. And I lost it fast. But then I started cheating. So the doctor told me when I went in, like, I was like a fire hydrant, and he's like, look, you have 11 stones, and you have 2 that are lodged here. Ouch. And 1 that's piercing something in my intestine or whatever. He's like, we've got to put you in a surgery like immediately. Ouch. So, he's like, I couldn't drink water, and it would just come right back up. Okay. It was bad.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the business, but real quickly, from your experiences that you had with a gallbladder and a heart attack and everything, what would your advice be for women as far as, just health or trying to stay away or not get in that situation? What would you recommend, or what would you advise?
I would say I didn't love myself because I want to say that the reason I gained so much weight was I would eat my feelings instead of talking about it or being more expressive to the person that was either upsetting me, bothering me, or whatever was bothering me.
So no self-work whatsoever. You were not working within nothing. You was just, the food was there, you ate it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I would eat at night, because that was when I was alone, and, that's just what I did. But I would say my best advice to anybody who is maybe wanting to get up and lose weight, first of all, don't set a goal at all, so that you're not disappointed.
Right.
Because the last person you want to be disappointed in is yourself, because we're all very hard on ourselves, especially women.
Definitely.
And then if you feel like you don't have any support, hey, look me up on Facebook. I'm always available. I am the biggest woman supporter. Anybody who needs a little bit of boost. Some people be like, oh, work out with me. Dude, we can call on Messenger and we can work out together. Like, I get busy, but I would say love yourself no matter what. Don't set a goal. Always know, and don't ever let anybody say that you can't. And if you feel like you are a little bit on the heavy side, always get yourself checked, because diabetes is really bad, cholesterol.
Especially on the Hispanic Latino community.
Yes,
it's really
because,
big.
I mean, we're taught to eat rice, beans, and we're taught to make, and the only way that it tastes good is with manteca.
No, it's not.
Yeah, beans, I mean, that's what we're raised with, though.
It
with
is.
tortillas
well, the
and
beans
stuff
itself
like that.
is not bad.
No, it's the way that they're prepared.
Certain tortillas is one of the best options, as long as they're like not through the process that they do,
Yeah.
you know. But it's a decent meal. Like, think about it. Our ancestors used to just eat like beans, rice, chile, and there was the basic diet, maybe a protein.
I'm at something quick. Like, I went to Mexico this year, and I was there for 8 days. And I'm not gonna lie that when I came back home, like over there, I ate meat. I cheated like the whole time. I ate pan dulce, white conchas. Oh my God! Every night, I drank whole milk. It was crazy, but I did not get sick at all. As to where when I came home, and I tried not to eat the same thing, but even if I ate like birria here, like because we had an event, I think a party event, I got so sick.
What is it? The quality of food.
Exactly.
Food.
It's the quality of food. It's everything that they put in the food here, I think, because everything over there is so fresh. And like, I would tell my husband, how do I not have a headache? And I just had 3 fajita tacos. And I ate the tortillas.
Yeah.
And over there I didn't, but over here, and I'm so ready to go back.
It is. It's true. Our
If I lived
quality
over
of
there,
food
I'd
is
be
not-
so skinny.
That's why we have to supplement so much on vitamins and different things like that, because our quality of food is not the best, and that's the thing we have to look for. Seems like fast food is the very easier option because it's quicker, but it's not really food. I don't know what it is they feed you.
I agree.
I don't know
So
what they
love
give you.
yourself. Don't set a goal. And always know, I mean, there's like so many different options. Everybody does it different. There's no right or wrong way to lose weight as long as you're putting your health first.
And I think cooking home helps you control a lot of other stuff too.
Yes, because you know what you put in your food.
You know what you're putting exactly on it. All right. So it said right here on your bio that at 20 years old, you started a catering business. I'm 20 years old. I was probably lost. First of all, because I'm a man, so we're already immature as it is, so we're behind. At 20 years old, I wasn't thinking of creating my own business. I was in the military at that time. So, but how did that get started? Because I know you have a passion for food because of your grandma.
Yes.
You used to like the way that she cooked. She was in the kitchen, and then I guess she rubbed up on you. So how did that start? And what was it called?
Well, the name of my business, it's still Melissa's Catering and Event. That's the name of my business, but I didn't name it until not too long ago. The first catering event that I ever had was actually an accident. A friend of mine.
An accident?
Yeah, it
was. At 20 years old?
Yeah, no, because she asked me, she came over to my house and her parents were getting married. And she asked, I had invited her over for dinner. And she had asked me if I had just gotten with my husband, and my mother-in-law and my husband, they have a restaurant. Yeah. And I had invited her over for dinner, and I made her enchiladas with rice and beans. And like the Tex-Mex ones, though.
Yeah.
And with like the chile colorado and whatever that you make. Not the one you get in the can, people.
Yeah.
No
canned food over here.
No, the one that my grandma taught me how to make with the harina and all that.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my gosh. She's like, you know what? She's like, these are so good. And that was probably like during the week. And she's like, she called me like, I want to say 2 days. It was like on a Thursday. She's like, dude, she's like, you know the wedding? She's like, my parents are getting married. I'm like, okay. She's like, dude, the caterer backed out. She's like, and we already paid them. And I'm like, dang. I was like, that sucks. She's like, dude, if I buy all the food, she's like, would you cook for the wedding? She's like, just give us like a couple of weeks. She's like, and we'll pay you.
About how many people?
For 200 people.
200. It's not that bad.
And I was like, what do you want to eat? She's like, go just make the enchiladas. And I'm like, that's loca, okay? I'm like, that's a lot of enchiladas. That, like, 4 people that's like 800 enchiladas.
That's like 100 enchiladas.
And she was like, well, like, make something simple. She's like, what else can you make? And I'm like, I can make you some fajita de res. I was like, I can, my mom, she like makes this really good bistec ranchero. She's like, well, what's that? And then so I started telling her, she's like, oh, yeah, that sounds good. And I was like, I can make you some guisado de res. And she's like, okay. So I made her guisado de res, bistec ranchero with some rice and some beans. Mm-hmm. And back then now I get the tortillas for all my events, but you know, they had to buy that from the tortilla. And that's how it started. And then I started going to, I worked for my mother-in-law on her catering truck for years.
So she had a catering truck and a restaurant, or was that?
It was both.
It was both.
Yeah, she had a Casablanca restaurant over there on 30 in East
Is it
Grand.
still here?
No.
Okay.
They closed it.
Used to be.
They closed it down, but no, she was there for a good while. And I mean, she had a good following. I mean, she still has you know, her 5 loncheras.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, yeah, no, my mother-in-law, she's a hustler.
It feels like it, like a whole family thing. You got your own thing. She got.
You know,
her own
my mom was selling burritos when I was like 15. That's when she started selling burritos. She started doing it for a family party.
So you've been going into this forever, even like from your grandma being in the kitchen and watching her technique to your mom hustling and selling stuff to now.
And my mom she'd make like 700 burritos a day. It's crazy.
That's a lot of burritos.
I know.
Okay.
But when she first started, she was making homemade tortillas from scratch, rolling every day.
That's
my dad and her and my brother and my sister-in-law. Yeah, like, it was a whole family thing.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
It is. Okay, so you do that first catering gig. Does it go well? Everything's good? They
love the food. They said it was good. And then, you know, every once in a while I would get an event here and an event there. But I realized that I didn't want to work for anybody. Because even though I had odd jobs in between, like from the time that I was 20 up until, you know, maybe 10 years ago, I never worked well with people because I can't stand lazy people.
Not only that, but like you said earlier, when the doctor told you, the doctor was trying to advise you. You don't even like him to tell you what to do. And I feel you on that.
Yeah, no.
It's so weird because I was in the military. I don't like people what to do. But it's a way that people ask you. I think it's more of a problem that I have.
For me, it's not what you say. It's how you say it.
How you say it.
I
feel you on that.
I always tell people, like, you can call me stupid. But if you tell me in a nice way, dude, I'm going to take it. I'm fine with it, but at least respect me when you tell me.
Yeah, that's true. So. I'm like, my standard is like this. Like I don't look down on no one, up on no one. Like, just treat me like a human being.
Exactly. Treat me the way you want to be treated.
The moment you forget that I'm a human being and you start talking a certain way, I'm going to check you immediately. So if you start raising your voice, what I used to do is, like, I can hear you clearly. And we don't get that hint, then I can get louder, even though being a little bitty. And I like...
And I'm the same way. And then, of course, my grandma was not a woman who bit her tongue. And, you know, she would always tell me, no te estés mordiendo la lengua por nadie. And, like, don't bite your tongue for nobody. Ni por un viejo, ni por nadie. And I was like, and I've always been that way.
Because I think that would, like, you bought all that stuff, and I think eventually hurts you at the end, right? I mean, like you said, it's not that you want to spill poison at people, but at the same time, you want to...
It becomes unnecessary tension.
Yeah.
When you can just get it out and then just deal with it.
And then, like you said, you're not going to be disrespectful. You're at least going to express it, that there's something instead of, like, not saying nothing.
Exactly.
All right, so you do odd jobs, and then you do catering thing, and then what happened? When did you decide to go full blast on this?
I went on my own quite a few years ago. I want to say maybe starting to do events about 6 years ago, like the cater, and then starting to, like, really put money into it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I've been doing actual cooking and stuff like that I've been cooking since I was 7.
Yeah, that's what I see.
I learned how to make homemade tortillas when I was 7. My great grandma taught me.
I just learned the other day.
Really?
Well, I still do it from the maseca, but still, it's better.
Flour or
it's
corn?
Organic. I like the corn. I'm from Sur de Mexico, so I like the corn. Corn is my thing. Don't get me wrong, flour is cool, but for me to make them, it's like a whole different process. But for me, like, corn is my thing. I
remember the first time I made them, they looked like Texas, California, Arkansas.
Every state in the U.S.
I was making states.
Except for a round circle.
Except for a round one. But my grandma was like, es como lo volteas, mija. And I'm just like, yeah. And the first thing I ever learned how to make was masita.
What's that?
So, that government cheese,
Uh-huh.
and it was the salt pork, like with manteca.
Yeah.
So then you put a little bit of flour and you brown it. And then you start adding water. And then you start putting your cheese in there.
What?
And then you just eat it with tortillas.
Really? I never heard of it, but I know about the government cheese. Shout out to the government.
I know their cheese was better back then than it is now.
I don't know anymore because I wouldn't need it.
Because back in the day, they'd give you American cheese. Now they give you that cheddar, mozzarella, Monterey Jack crap.
No idea. No. All right. So now, like, fast forward, now you start doing your own thing, and now you start investing more money on your business? Yes. Okay.
Several businesses.
All right. Let's talk about so you are the president of Rosemary and Root. So what exactly is that?
So, the ice storm that they had in...
I remember I was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was. Man, poor Dallas. I didn't lose any...
Poor Texas. It was all over the place, not only here.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was very blessed. I'm on the same generator as, like, the major hospital and the major firehouse, so I didn't lose anything. I was, like, I think the only one in my family that didn't lose power, gas, water, nothing. At my light or nothing went up because I was like, no, that's not gonna. I'm on a fixed rate. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true too.
The gas did go up a little bit, but it wasn't like extreme. Like I know some people were getting like $800-900 bills. It was crazy. So my friend Angie Martel, she actually found me on social media. She is the director of a home and living facilities.
Yeah.
And of course, I was doing my catering truck thing. I had stopped in January 30th was the last day that I rode my catering truck because of the weather being really bad. Plus tax season was coming, so I was, I always got a way to make money. So if I'm making money here and I was having 7-8 clients a day, there was no need for me to go on the catering truck when I would only sell, like 200 a day to where I could make 200 in 20-30 minutes, doing some taxes.
True.
So she told me, she's like, hey, like we're in a hotel right now. I've got, this many patients. Would you be interested in, coming and serving my patients? She goes, it's 3 times a day. And I'm like, sure. So she's like, so I need a menu every day and this and that. And I'm like, from the first time that I went, I got to meet the patients. I've got to actually take the food to them. And I loved it. And she liked the food, and she said the patients loved it. I mean, they were actually, like, getting up, walking around. They were like, hey, when's lunchtime? Hey, like, when's dinner time? And I liked it a lot. And then she told me that they were going to actually be opening their facility very soon, and that if I would be interested in maybe, like, catering to that. So fast forward a few months passed. I kept, messaging her on Facebook when she was looking for, like, does anybody want to buy this? Or, hey, we're looking for nurses. We're looking for this. And I'm like, are you looking for anybody for food yet?
I know.
So I would stay on it. And she stayed in contact with me. But one thing that when it was time to, one day she called me and she told me that if I wanted to if I wanted to go to a meeting at the facility. And so I met Mark and Mike, who are the people of Big World Food.
So so what's the difference between that one and Big World? Because I'm a little confused.
So Big World is I work for Rosemary and Root is part of Big World.
Okay.
So that's the team. Our CEO is Ryan Gordon. And then we have like different people that are part of the team. So Mike that we have here, Ryan Cole. He is our CEO, and then kind of Mike Goss is the senior president of Big World. And then I work with Mark as well, and I work with Luke. And I work with 3 guys on a daily basis.
Right.
And I absolutely never thought that I would be so comfortable. I feel like I'm working with like my 3 brothers. It's amazing. It's an amazing team. But when I first went, it was more like, I'll charge you this much a day for like this per patient.
So you're in your mind, you were going for something way different.
I was going for, dang, I'm going to get like maybe 60, 70 patients. That's what we're going to go for. And I'm going to get paid this much money a day. And that's what I was going for. And then they brought it to me. We're like, hey, maybe we can hire you on as like a general manager. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Right away, I was like, I'm not going to work for nobody. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, so like, why would I start working? I'm not gonna take a step back, like I want to move forward. So then my love for actual facilities was because my grandmother was in a nursing home, and she was in a horrible nursing home. And I'll never forget that when I went to go visit her, the only time I got to visit her, her face was on the table, and she was trying to feed herself when there was nurses everywhere, and they were like basically not paying attention to the patients.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart.
You know what I'm gonna tell my future kids? You know what I'm gonna tell them to make sure I don't end up in a home? I'm gonna tell them that I have a lot of money. A lot of money.
You know what? Every time I make my kids mad, they threaten me. Your mom's gonna have to go live with you. No, she's gonna go to a nursing home if she keeps making us mad.
Let me tell you the recipe, how to make sure you stay away from a home. I'm gonna tell them I have a lot of money. And in my will, whether I have a lot of money or not, it's none of their business because they don't need to know my finances. But if they put me in a home, it's going to be on the will that they ain't getting a dime and everything's going to charity if they put me in a home.
See, if my kids get tattoos, they're not getting anything in my will.
Okay. Well, mine is that I ain't getting put in a home, homies. I changed y'all diapers and everything, and y'all ain't about to put me in a home.
My husband...
y'all don't know if I'll have money or not, but y'all ain't putting me there.
My son already told me that he's going to take care of his dad, and my daughter says she's going to take care of me, so...
All right. You know, have him sign a contract. Words don't mean nothing nowadays.
I know, right?
You know, here, put your little signature there. As soon as they turn 18, I have something to sign for you. Here you go. You should make it legal.
Clause, make sure.
There you go.
And then whatever's in my, in my will, I'll be like, hey, if I'm in a nursing home when I die, make sure they don't get nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna donate it all to my grandchildren, how many I have.
All right. So, what made you decide from being an entrepreneur and doing, because you still do your own different stuff and businesses,
yes.
But what
made
you...
they called me for a meeting. I met with Mike, I met with Mark, I went to the villas twice, and then I got a message saying that they wanted to all meet there at the office, if I would go there to Wiley, where our office is. And when I went in there, I never in a million years thought that I was going to be sitting down with a man like Ryan Cole. Mm-hmm. Which, yes, he is the boss, but he is the most amazing. I don't know if you've ever been around a person that they have like a light around them, like an energy to where they literally just make you feel so comfortable that you just want to stay in their presence. And that's the feeling that, Mr. Cole gave me. So
that's cool.
He's like, okay, look. So, and I'm talking about within like less than a week, they came up with this company, and they were like, it was already established, but there was, they didn't have, anything in place. I think there was other plans that they had, and they were like, hey, like how about? He's like, I know about being an entrepreneur. I respect that. How about I offer you this company, and I will give you this much, and you'll be able to control this, and these are your responsibilities. And I thought to myself, I'm being punked. That's the first thing I thought.
So you didn't think it was real?
No.
You thought it was made up? It seemed too real to be true?
Exactly. I thought that there was, like I said, there was never any way that I would ever be sitting with the people that I was sitting with. Mm-hmm. He's done amazing things. All of my partners have. Mark has worked with Slotchkis. Mike he's a police officer for 20 years. He retired. I work with some really, and then he served as well, and so has Luke. And he's amazing on the computer. Like, he's a genius. So not only do I have the honor to work with these amazing, smart people, but I haven't done anything compared to like what they've done. So to be able to go into a room with a bunch of men, it's intimidating. Mm-hmm. And then to sit at a table where they take seriously what you say and what you're bringing to the table and make you feel what you say matters, what you're bringing to the table is important. It's an amazing feeling.
Right.
So I want to say that that's what made me sign with him. And the one word that he told me was, I don't have employees. I don't have we're a family here. Like, we are all a family. I consider everybody family. Like, I don't have coworkers. We're like an extended family. And so, like, that's even when I post on my Facebook, I'm like, my work family, I mean, they're my brothers, you know. I love working with them.
How long you been working with them so far?
I've only been with them for a month.
Yeah, you sounds like you make it sound like you've been there for years.
Well, I mean, literally, I've been working with them practically, like, we're always together all day long, you know. And if I'm not with Mark, then I'm with Mike. If not, we're on both. But we work so much together because what I'm supposed to be doing is the food for facilities. Mm-hmm. So I'm creating the menu for the live-in facilities that Mr. Ryan Cole is opening for Big World. So I'm part of Rosemary and Root is the company under Big World, and I'm in charge of all the food. Mm-hmm. But I've also started a fresh menu for anybody in the office that wants a salad, that wants a healthier menu, like some grilled fish, some steamed vegetables, some salmon. Then that's what, you know, they'll be able to go to the fridge. They'll be able to open and they'll be able to pick what they want to eat for that day. Okay.
And then you have chefs or anything? Or is there anything that you're cooking still at this day?
Yes,
or not really?
I cook everything. Mm-hmm. And I've created the menu as well for a food truck that they wanted to start. So because I was able to, and this is how good this company is. Right. When they brought me on, the facility wasn't open yet. Mm-hmm. But they were like, there's other things you can help us with, because you do have experience in the food truck industry. Yeah. And so then, you know, I started helping them do that. And then my boss was like, hey, how about we do like a fresh menu? And then eventually he wants to have those, you know, in the hospitals, you know, for not only just,
well, it goes hand in hand, though.
Yeah, so for
to
like
have fresh food for people that are getting well.
Yeah, but for staff, no, for like the doctors, the nurses, to be able to like for, you know, when you're
and
a
even
doctor,
the people that are recovering.
Yeah,
too.
And when you're a doctor and when you're a nurse, you work crazy hours. You know, you're always doing, you know, at the hospital. You don't have time to go out or prepare your meal. But if
fast food is not the best option, but it's fast.
Exactly. So when you can go down to your cafeteria and you can be like, oh, there's some grilled fish with some steamed vegetables, right? That's like so much better. And it's at a good amount of money. You're not breaking the bank, and it's convenient because it's there. Why not take, you know? Why not take that opportunity?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll love it.
And with the food truck, I mean, Voodoo Daddies is already an established great menu. I just kind of like, it's, you know, bring the white rice and make the shrimp and the fish. But it's Tacodiction is the menu.
Tacodiction. So tell me about that. Where did the concept come from, and how did it all came to be? It's like a brand new creation.
So it's Puffy Tacos.
Puffy Tacos.
So those originated in San Antonio.
And they're flour or
it's
corn?
Flour and corn.
Flour and corn. And they're puffy. Even the corn is puffy.
Yeah, it's a flour and a corn recipe that I got, and some other little extra things that I put in there, and it
secret ingredients,
and it puffs up like a really pretty puffy taco. And I have fish that I put in there, and you can do Cajun shrimp. I do birria. I do pork, and then I do a shredded chicken one. But I also
be on the lookout for the vegan menu they're gonna have in the near future.
But I also do gorditas. I do rajas with cheese for those.
Are the gorditas puffy or the regular traditional gorditas?
So on the gorditas, I use they're the harina and the maseca. So I mix those two together. It's the same recipe that I use for the puffy tacos. So I make them on the comal. And then I put them in the fryer, and they puff up so beautiful. And that's oh my crazy. Gosh, I let my partners try it today, and they love them. My boss said that they were really good. But I have rajas with queso, and I have bean and cheese, and we got chorizo with cheese. So those are the three gorditas. And if you ever want to add like whatever we use on the puffy tacos, you know, you just pay that little extra money, and then we can put it in there for you. But
so how many total options do you have now for the menu?
So on the puffy tacos, you have 5 options. Okay. You can do those 5 options. And then for right now, I mean, that's what we're doing. We want to keep it simple, because simple is, I think, too much sometimes is too crazy.
It's overwhelming when you look at the menu, and then like, I think that's what happens with people whenever they go, because they always get the same thing, because there's way too many options, and be like, I'll just get the whatever.
You stick with what's comfortable.
Yeah, but there's too many things going on. And even if you try to read everything, it's way too many things. And I think restaurants get it wrong. I think they think that the more things you put in there, the more variety is like, no, you're overwhelming people
It's so
with too many
confusing.
letters.
Yes.
Too many letters, too many ingredients. Like, keep it simpler, and then it'll be like, oh, I like that.
Like
People
when
like
Wingstop
chicken.
first started, I love the fact that they only had 8 different flavors.
They getting out of hand with them flavors
Yeah, you
now.
know what? Let's not talk about Wingstop because I get upset because I can't have Wingstop on the regular like I used to.
But I've gone to get some wings for my family because they good with whatever I do. Like, and they support me. My mom cooks me and my tias, whatever. They don't care. I just like, just do you. But I go pick up some wings sometimes for them because, you know, I don't care for anybody. I would like them to eat better and different things, but whatever. I will get it. And then the options, they'll be like, wow, there's so many flavors, like spicy lemon pepper and all this and that. And I'm like, what? Mango habanero and
I know.
da-da-da. Like, whoa.
My husband likes those, though.
Way too many.
He used to eat, like, just the original hot. And then when they brought the mango one, he started that. And then he loves it with cheese sauce because he does
Cheese sauce?
Yeah, he doesn't do ranch. He's like, he doesn't do anything.
He's different.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that I think everybody in their mama knows ranch.
He used to do ketchup, but now that the cheese sauce is there, he's all about the cheese sauce. Like, you better not forget my cheese sauce.
Cheese sauce. Never heard. Oh, well, probably because I haven't had it in a while, but cheese sauce is different on wings.
Yeah. I've never tried it before because it's got like it's that spicy cheese sauce. But the one thing about Tacodiction that I want to say that people are surprised about is that we have desserts.
Yes, you do have desserts. And what is it that you have and what you call them?
So we have strawberry cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Which the name of that one is called the Triple Threat.
Orale.
Because I work with Mike, Mark, and then I'm Melissa.
Okay,
and all three of us together, watch out. So we called it Triple Threat because of that. And then we have a caramel apple. A caramel apple one. And so basically the strawberry cheesecake one is my cheesecake recipe, and then I put fresh strawberries.
Is it like a regular traditional cheesecake looking, or is there any twist to it?
Well, it's a puffy taco. So I dip it in cinnamon and sugar as soon as it comes out of the fryer to make it sweet.
Sweet.
And then I do my cheesecake in there, my special recipe, and then I do
secret ingredients.
Always fresh strawberries. And then I do the whipped cream, and then I do fresh strawberry sauce that it's always fresh. It's from fresh strawberries.
Yep.
You gotta wait till they're really sweet.
And then the other one, the apple one?
And the apple one is the same, like the puffy taco. We do the same thing in the cinnamon and the sugar. And then I make
fresh apples?
Yes.
Ooh,
fresh Fuji apples. They're amazing. You gotta do Fuji because it's like you're making an apple pie, but you're not gonna go in the oven.
That's what I was thinking too when they were saying that.
So I saute them in some different spices and stuff, and then I put it in there, and then I do the whipped topping, and I cover it with caramel sauce.
You know what makes me think of? Like an empanada, like a Mexican empanada, but a little bit.
And they're really
crunchier.
pretty. I gotta send you a picture so you can post them.
I think I've seen them before. You sent me a picture. I think.
Oh yeah, I think I did.
Here
yeah.
it is. I know y'all can't see them, but this is what they look like.
Yeah, they're so good.
Carlos, can you get a close up? It's too far. It's kind of what it looks like a little bit, and we'll post them on the Global Latin Factor Instagram. I'm directing here. There you go. So that's what they look like. And it looks almost like a puffy something goodness with some strawberry. Maybe I can have without the whipped cream. Maybe that, does the flour have any eggs or anything on it at all? Okay, so I think I can have the apple one without the whipped cream. That one looks pretty. And they have vegan whipped cream, by the way.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. They have everything in there. Anything that you can think of.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
My thing is that, again, I don't want you to miss on especially being like something that is going to most likely take off because it's a different. And the concept came from where as far as the puffy tacos? You told me that.
So when I joined Big World, they already had the puffy taco idea. But, you know.
It originated from
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
But they didn't, they needed. I was the missing piece to the puzzle, if you want to say. And so I was able to, bring it all together for them. And like with them being able to do the food truck. And I mean, if you ever go to Wiley, because that's where we are, we're off of 78.
It's open to the public. I can go.
Yes, we are in a food truck right now. That's when we also have, the Cajun food. We do etouffee, jambalaya, and the Cajun food is amazing. Those are my that's the concept. That's the other concept that we have on the truck.
And what's it called, that one again?
Voodoo Daddies.
Voodoo Daddies.
Cajun food. It's a pretty good. I can't have spicy food, so
Yeah.
I can't taste it. But smelling it, the etouffee, that crawfish, with the white rice, and then we'll put I'll put the Cajun shrimp on there. But yeah, no, it's good. Every taco is different because all the tacos that I make, they have their own sauces.
Every taco has their own sauce. Sauce is key because you have to have a good salsa, casera, or your own different type of salsa. Like, for example, so what are the tacos that you have?
So I've got the fish taco.
So fish taco, what kind of salsa is that?
So my partner Mark will call it aioli, but I just call it my special chipotle.
So it's a chipotle with the fishy.
But yeah, it's a chipotle with, it is a chipotle. It is an aioli. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm gonna say it. It is. I'm gonna take his words.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
so
I'll take your word for
it's a special aioli. It's a chipotle with different types of ingredients and
so chipotle base is what you will find on that salsa for that fish.
Chipotle mayonnaise.
So chipotle mayonnaise. Okay, and then the other one taco you have?
So on the shrimp, we were doing just a chipotle, but we've done a little bit of testing, and the aioli goes with that really too. But originally it's with just the chipotle.
And what is
sauce.
aioli? What
So
is
it's
that
the
exactly?
chipotle with the mayonnaise and
So
then
it's the
some
same one
other
as
ingredients.
the other one is
the fish.
okay. And then what about the third taco?
The birria taco that comes with guacamole sauce. That's special guacamole sauce.
Yeah, but it does go with, like, honestly it does. And then the fourth taco?
That's the pork.
And that one goes with
Salsa verde.
salsa verde. That's my favorite. The tomatillo thing does it for me. I love salsa verde. And then there's one more, right?
And the shredded chicken.
Yes,
that one comes with the sour cream and chipotle.
Chipotle también.
With sour cream. But it's straight chipotle. As to where the fish and the shrimp is chipotle mayonnaise.
Nice. I think I like salsa de árbol. I don't know. Well, again, I know you don't
chile del árbol.
I think that one goes good with the pollo.
Yeah,
I think so too.
You know what? I might try that. That's a lot of sauces, though.
It is.
It's a lot of work. I've been making a lot of sauces.
I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah,
so
I
that
know.
is true. But you, okay. So my dad used to have a rule when we used to go into restaurants. Like, if the chips. First of all, I got a fun fact from the next episode I have about chips and salsa. I'll let you know next time.
Oh, we saw that too. I make my chips fresh.
Are they better than Chipotle's? I'm just saying, Chipotle's chips go hard.
I mean, they're real tortillas.
So never mind.
And then we dip them in the fry.
Sorry, Chipotle's, y'all out the conversation.
And we make them right there for you. And you can choose any salsa we have.
So my dad used to have a rule, right? In any restaurant, it's not like a rule, but it's like a kind of like, it kind of dictates if your food's going to be good. If your chips and salsa are good, most likely the food is going to be good. And it almost to the T never fails.
Well, mine are thebomb.com.
There you go. So there you go. So you
guys got to, and if you're ever in Wiley, right close to Saxy, leaving Garland, stuff like that. We're over there in Wiley on a Highway 78.
All right, and you can stop and try this goodness.
Yes.
And you are mobile, right, as well, and for catering.
We do private events. Mm-hmm. Yes, we actually did one for Coverica not too long ago, and we're going to be out there tomorrow with Coverica in Dallas. And then in the afternoon, we're actually going to do a opening to a clinic as well.
Nice.
My company, Platinum, I'm sorry, they're going to be opening a clinic. The grand opening is tomorrow, and we'll be servicing food for them there too.
Okay. So did you change the name of your company? So you said Platinum, or was that something different?
No, Platinum, that's another company that we work with.
So y'all have like the mother one is Big World, but y'all branch off to different ones.
Yes.
Okay. So if you needed to be booked for catering for
Tacodiction,
gotta get used to the word Tacodiction, or the other one, Voodoo
Daddies.
How do y'all go about booking that?
So they can reach me I have a cell phone, or they can find me on Facebook.
You want to share that number?
Sure. It's 469-877-0472. And then my email is mtorres@rosemaryandroot.com.
All righty. And then they can, again...
And they can find me on Facebook, Melissa Torres Ramirez.
As far as like the catering party size, it doesn't matter, big, little. You don't have a limit to people. How many?
I mean, bringing the food truck out there and stuff. I mean, we would like to have like a limit of like at least 50 people, you know, because you have a company. Like what we did with Coverica, it was for the owner of Coverica. We did his birthday party.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I was. Oh, and then I mean, I got the biggest compliment. Maybe it went to my head, but
Okay, what was it?
he actually loved. He loves Italian cream cake. That's like his favorite cake, and I loved. I mean, I bake too and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I do my events, sometimes I literally have to do everything. I do just treat tables and all that stuff. So he told me he was the lady that booked us. She was like, he loves Italian cream cake. She's like, could you do a cake? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bakery and buy one. And then, but I was like, you know what? I really want to impress this guy. Like, I never thought I'd be cooking for the owner of Coverica. You know,
That's
this
true.
Guy's like money man. You know, like I want to impress him. So I'd made one time before, and so when I took a culinary class over there in Richland, I took like a pastry. So I went ahead and I was like, okay, we gotta dig up, you know, these recipes.
Right.
And so I made it, and he told me it was the best Italian cream cake he's ever had, and he's Italian.
So it felt like he was back in the motherland?
Oh my God, yes.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God, my
Nice.
head was like this big when I
What?
walked out that big glass door.
When you say, okay, so again, I make my own stuff, cook my own stuff. Like, I make my own stuff. Like, I'm not like a chef or anything, but I just whip stuff together, and certain things are really good. But all that stuff is the same to me, right? Like baking and cooking, it all seems to be the same, but it's not, right?
No.
It all got its own technique and everything. I'm so disrespectful to the culinary people. My bad. But it's interesting, though, that what you said is that even though you know the techniques that your grandma, you still took time to go to school and see what other things is there as far as
Well,
food.
yeah, I mean, when I took the classes in culinary at Richland, I did it because, of course, I needed to be certified on how you use knives.
Yeah.
How
Really?
Yes,
I did not
because
know
I
that.
mean, you can't.
So am I committing a crime because I'm cooking using my knife? Is that?
No, I mean, I wanted to know the right techniques because I knew that I wanted to do something in this industry. I want to say that the opportunity that I have now, I will be honest and keep it 100 and say 10 years ago, if this opportunity was presented to me, I think I would have screwed it up.
Okay, so here's the thing that Steve Jobs gave a speech one time, and he said, like, you got to keep doing things, right? And you got to keep doing things and doing it, because a lot of the times things don't make sense moving forward. Like, things don't make sense moving forward, but once you get here, then it all makes sense. The reason why you took the culinary school, why you were doing this, you know what I mean? It was like a preparation to get you to this opportunity.
I would get a lot of negativity from a lot of people,
For what?
close people, because I work a lot.
But if you love it, right, you don't feel like you're working.
Because it took time from my kids, took time from my family, from my older daughter. So I was always working. And one thing that I always used to I've always told myself, like, I'm going to get to a place in my career where I'm going to be able to secure my family, myself, because I want to be able to be to a certain age and enjoy my grandchildren and travel. Because that's one thing I can say about my parents. My mom was a straight up hustler when I was growing up. Like, she constantly worked. And I want to say that we didn't get to be with my mom as much because she was always having to work. She was a single mom.
Right.
But, I mean, we never had a Christmas where we didn't have, like, not even exaggerating, like 30, 35 gifts a piece. And there was 5 of us.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So when I go school shopping for my kids, when they were all starting school, I used to call my mom and be like, were you a drug dealer? Because
It's expensive.
I'm like, for real. And she's like, and my mom wouldn't buy us 1 or 2, pairs of clothes or uniforms or whatever. Like, we all had brand new pairs of shoes and name brand shoes.
Okay, so tell me this, and however you want to address it. So your mom worked a lot, but if it's only understandable that one has to be sacrificed of the other, right? Either y'all have plenty of money and nothing is like missing, finances, you have 30 gifts, or y'all spend quality time with her. You know what I mean? Which
But
one would
that's
you
the
prefer?
thing, like,
It don't matter no more because it's already done.
I mean, when we we didn't have her like early in the morning, like to like when we woke up to go to school, because she was already at work.
So it's not like you
sometimes.
didn't see her. You got
No,
to
we
spend
saw
some
her.
time.
Yeah,
But
yeah, because every summer we were at we were at Wet and Wild, we were at Six Flags. We would, go out to San Antonio. We never missed the fair, and we didn't just go one week. We went every single Tuesday. We went the first Saturday, the last Saturday.
And she was working at that time?
No, she would take
with
us.
you. Oh, she would. Okay, because she did her own thing.
Yeah.
And then, as far as the thing that you said about your daughter, because you get criticism, is that something that you still are struggling? That y'all get to talk about it? You have a conversation about it?
I can say that the mistakes that I made with my older daughter, I definitely can say that they've been addressed. I can't fix what I did, but I can definitely learn from them. And I was making the same mistakes with with my younger two kids, but when you have people like they say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, and not only that, but like, you can only do wrong because you don't know any better until you know better, and then you can move forward. You know what I mean?
And that's
so at that time, your mind was like, "This is what I need to do to provide to my family, get you to a place where." But it didn't make sense to everybody else because you just executing the plan.
Yeah, because for them, I mean, I want to say that maybe they didn't believe in me. Maybe they didn't think that what I wanted to do was, be an entrepreneur, but I wanted to be in a position where I could actually make a difference. And I feel like with this company, they're giving me the opportunity to do that.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, my food is going to be as far as Costa Rica.
Oh, wow.
That's how far my food is going to go
nice.
with this company.
Is that a new thing? Is that something you're telling me? I didn't know about this. How does that come to be?
Well,
they're gonna open up something over there?
Yeah, they're building. I mean, they have facilities. They're building in different places. Like I'm gonna be in Houston. I'll be in Wiley and Princeton. But for me, this company is going really far, and I'm starting at the beginning of all the developments. So it's amazing to be able to be a part of an amazing team, but a company that actually is giving worth to what I've been working like almost 18 years for.
Again, it was just like, it's funny that they say like preparation meets opportunity. You know what I mean? Like if you were, like you said, 10 years ago, you would have felt misery because you didn't have the tools, experience, and all this. Now that you have,
and even the mentality.
Yeah, and now
the
you
maturity.
have the preparation, and then you had the opportunity, and then go hand in hand. And then something that you enjoy to do.
Because I want to say, even in my 20s, if you irritated me, I still wanted to punch you in the throat. and I kind of was like, maybe
a little aggressive?
Yeah, maybe I should. And now
maybe you just needed to have a snack. Maybe you were just hangry.
I was having a Joe Pesci moment. I needed a Snickers a lot when I was in my 20s. But I want to say that now, at the maturity level that I'm in and the mentality that I'm at, I'm in a place of, I'm very, very happy with myself, spiritually, emotionally, as a mother, as a daughter. I'm comfortable altogether with myself because I'm proud of what I look like physically, but more than anything, I've changed a lot internally. So for me, I think that maybe even 5 years ago.
Well, you came a long way from like working, but then at the same time having, you can almost say a near-death experience with a heart attack if you did not change your ways to being here, and then now having the position, because you are the president for Rosemary and Root.
Yes.
So it is a big deal, and I'm congratulations.
Thank
first
you.
of all, and I'm happy that you're doing the things that you've been preparing for to do so, and the things that you love to do as far as cooking.
Yes.
And now diving into different things and learning about different things.
Yeah, and who can honestly say, like, there's not a lot of people that can say, I made my career on doing exactly what I love and how I wanted to do it on my terms.
True that.
There's not that many people that can say that who started from nothing, who started from
by accident catering.
Yeah, I knew that I always wanted to have my own business, but then when it got to a point and now my motto is, if I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna learn.
Yeah, we got like YouTube, we got the internet, we got a freaking phone.
I mean, because I can plan. I just did a whole wedding. given I had help, I really need to hire like a staff because boy, I be stressing myself out sometimes.
You do need a team.
And so if anybody's in Wiley, okay, and you are looking for a job and you want to work on a catering truck, hit me up, 469-877-0472, because I am looking for 4 staff members. I need 2 people during the day and I need 2 people at night because right now we're just open for lunch. But we want to be open, for dinner too, because Wiley is...
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, not breakfast.
No? Not yet?
No, we don't want to do breakfast yet.
Just lunch and dinner for sure.
Yes.
Cool.
We want to be open from like 11 to 7.
That's good.
And I think that's a good crowd. And in Wiley, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity.
There's a lot of woods in Wiley too.
You know what? I really thought that, man, I could never live out there in the boonies. I'm gonna be working out in the boonies. No, there's everything in Wiley.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than what I remember it was.
I haven't crossed around it, but yeah, there is. And I like being in the woods. Like,
do you?
Peace. I don't want no neighbors around me.
Not me. I gotta be around a gas station, a Walmart, a Sam's.
Not me.
Because I'm forgetful. I don't like lists. But I love the fact that now I can get my groceries delivered to my house.
That is true.
The other day, my son was like, how are you going to come home and you're just going to leave the groceries on the... I was like, I didn't do that. They brought them to me. That's cool, Mom. Can you order me some Cheez-Its? I was like, calm down, son. I was like, they can need like a $35 minimum to come deliver me some groceries.
That is funny, but it is the new way. And how are y'all? Has it affected y'all at all? Are y'all moving a different way because of COVID? Because I think, again, it's been a year, it's been changed, and we still haven't fixed it. And now they got new variants.
With COVID, I was blessed to work through the whole pandemic.
Nice, good.
I didn't like the fact that I would have to get tested every other week. I have gotten tested 86 times for COVID.
Ouch.
I have literally had my brain scratched that many times. And the one time that I didn't cry, when the lady came back the next week, I told her, I said, I want that other guy. He didn't make me cry. She goes, you no cry? He no do it right. And I'm like, oh, I hate you too. So yeah, that was, I mean, I'm not scared of COVID.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's ugly to say that, but I feel like my faith in God is immense. It's really big. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I know people who literally like covered up, didn't go nowhere, isolated themselves, but as soon as they went out, they got it.
I think that gets all weird, and anybody to each their own opinion however they want to, you know what I mean? But I think the fact of eating better and healthier, because the things that they're not pushing a lot is, besides the vaccine, it's all like vaccine, no vaccine, mask, no mask. But there's nothing about like, how about we start eating better? How about we start exercising better? How about we taking care of our health a whole lot more? Then yes, maybe you do get something, but because your immune system's well taken care of and because you've been taking care of your body, you've been doing the right things, then you might still make it even if you get sick. You know what I mean? It's all one or the other. It's not anything between the middle. The things that need to be addressed that are more important, such as nutrition, our quality of food that we have. That's, again, you go to Mexico, you eat the same thing, you come over here and you get sick. That's not right. That's not normal.
No.
Yeah.
And not within days.
And people think that I have an issue. I got disgusted with meat. But at the same time, somewhere in the back of my mind, it was like the stuff that they're giving us, serving, it's not meat. You know, it's not quality stuff that they used to be, that we used to have back in the days. You know, it's not the same
Everything
thing.
is so processed.
So that and chemicals and antibiotics and antidepressants and anything you can think of.
And I want to say that's the thing that anybody who can taste my food, they can say they don't get sick after they eat with me, or even like when I have my food tastings, when I have my actual events, when they come out and they pick whatever they want on the menu, when they're ready to sign their contract, they don't go home and like, oh, like I make mole.
Like it's too heavy.
Yes.
Or too like you have to like take time to process it, and then
Exactly.
you feel tired at the end. You know
Or
what
like
I mean?
they gotta go take like a seltzer or something because they feel
like
sick.
heartburn and things like that.
Exactly. So for me, like one of the things that I did learn that I never knew before, that my nutritionist did teach me, is she said, when you put so many different ingredients in something that's already has so much in it, you literally are killing the natural part of what you're supposed to just be eating.
Yeah, because for the people that eat meat, like quality steaks, what does it need if you want a quality steak? Just salt and pepper, or just some salt, or nothing. You know what I mean? You don't need to marinate it for 24 hours for it to taste a certain way. That's not normal. That's not what you're going for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not normal.
I used to put beer, Worcestershire sauce, all these different types of seasonings.
But it wasn't needed
when I would do steaks.
But it wasn't needed if you have quality food, quality.
And then Sam's came up with these amazing butters. So now it's just salt and pepper with literally it's like a teaspoon of Parmesan butter. And that's it. And my steaks are thebomb.com.
Again, I'm not against the meat itself. I'm just against the quality and all that other stuff. But that's just my personal thing that I.
So do you go to Mexico and eat meat? Mm-mm. You don't eat meat at all?
I did try that one time I went to Mexico, but I had a small piece, but it wasn't the same. But even my grandpa, because he's been in Mexico all his life, he knows. He even told me, where I'm from, in the area that I'm from Morelos, but there's a place called Yecapiscla, which is well known for cecina, and there's no other cecina in the world. That place is known for cecina. I don't know if you know what cecina is. It's almost beef jerky-ish, but it's not, and it's fresh, and it's like a whole different level of meat. And I did have a small piece, but at the same time, even he told me, yeah, it's not the same quality meat that we used to have.
So
before.
What made you go vegan?
I told you, I got disgusted. Just straight up disgusted of like.
So did you go cold turkey?
Cold turkey.
And it wasn't hard for you?
The day that it happened, I was working at a club. In the morning, and I got out of the club. I was emceeing at a club, like in the mic. I got out about probably 2-3 in the morning. The next day I woke up probably about like 8-9, and I went straight to the gym. And I worked out and I stayed in the sauna for like, no exaggeration, probably an hour or more, just trying to sweat all the stuff because I felt like it was coming out my pores and I could smell it.
And that's another thing that has changed with me too since I lost the weight.
What's that?
I sleep better.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I don't snore anymore, so my husband sleeps in peace.
I don't know about that one for me, but
Dude, I was so big. I was sleeping like with the Z-Pack, like with the machine already, because I would skip breaths
sleep
in
apnea?
my sleep. Yeah.
Okay. But tripped me out. Okay, so people ask me like, well, do you see a difference or whatever? I don't know, because I think I was getting close to border probably diabetes, because I used to drink a lot of, when I stopped meat, then I cut a lot of sugars within that, because I felt like it went hand in hand. Here recently, I've been drinking a jarrito more than usual, but pretty consistent with not. But at the same time, you're right. I have there's a lot of people that tell me they're struggling to sleep. I sleep like a baby. Like the times that I don't even sleep that much, 5-6 hours maybe, 4, 5, 6 hours.
If
that
I sleep 4 hours straight, I am blessed.
I sleep well, even if it's 4 or 5, and I sleep really good. I get real well rest. Energy wise is decent. I still like my caffeine straight up. Just either one thing I do cheat though, and I'm imposter as far as vegan, because I feel like the honey is like very beneficial as far as, and it's not considered vegan or whatever, even though it's bee barf. But I like to put it in my coffee and things like that, because I think it helps with allergies, especially here in Texas. Vegan. They consider it not, but the benefits to me, the benefits for me outweigh the things, for the same reason that allergies being here in Texas and different things like that. I think it helps me a lot with. If I was not to, I would have more congestion, more mucus and different things like that. If I didn't have it, I feel like so I'm an imposter. My bad. Sorry about that. Like
I love honey.
I do too.
I love agave.
I have recently started doing more agave for the same reason, just trying to lay off a little bit of the honey, but at the same time, I just feel like the benefits.
I make fresh waters, so I don't add sugar to my agua frescas.
You do the agave?
I've done agave in my lemonade.
What do you usually use?
Oranges.
Oranges,
lemons, because mine are like, my lemonade is from scratch.
Freshly squished. Oh, nice.
I always have freshly blended.
Oh, freshly blended.
And you just like strain out all the pulp, and you just use a strainer.
Cool. So
get all the juice.
I know you have other businesses that you do as well. We are gonna have to cut it short a little bit, but tell me just a little bit of you do other events businesses. You said
yes.
That was the wedding that you.
So I do catering, of course, but I also like with my events, like I can help them find. I've helped my clients find venues. I have a DJ that I work with. I have a photographer, videographer that I work with. That both of them are in my package. Amazing, two amazing, amazing DJ, amazing. We just did my dad's 60th birthday party. Yeah. And then I do the centerpieces, the decorations. I do treat tables, backgrounds. Like I've invested quite a bit of money into my catering and event business. And
tax preparer you do.
And
too.
I also do taxes. And how I started doing taxes was when the first year that I ever filed my taxes under my catering business. This tax preparer charged me
a lot.
$764.
And you still paid?
And I mean, he took it out of my return.
So you were getting a return, but still, it's a lot.
But he literally took more than half my return. And I had a kid. I was like, dude, you're screwing me, and it really hurts for me to sit down right now. I mean, I'm just like, dude. So, and then the next year when I went to somebody, I was like, how much are you gonna? It was gonna charge me like almost $900. And it was my own people. I'm like, dude, like, come on, like it's. How many forms did you have to really do? So I took classes. But
yours a little bit complicated because you have businesses and different.
So I took classes, and I started off doing my husband's family, and from my husband's family, they referred me to people, and I'm up to this year, I hit 127 clients. When I started, it was just 5-6 people.
It's growing.
And so that's been over. I started in 2014.
Cool. All right, so we're going to have to end it real quickly. What's all your social media, all your contact information? Where can they reach you?
So on Facebook, I'm Melissa Torres Ramirez. For my catering business, I am at Melissa's Catering on Facebook and on Instagram. And then for my Big World at Rosemary and Root, I'm at M Torres at rosemaryandroot.com.
And then the telephone number was.
And then my cell phone is 469-877-0472. That's my contact information.
And any other questions that you wish I would ask you now?
Nope. I think we covered everything.
Well, again, I appreciate you. I know this was last minute, but I do appreciate it.
No, but it was fun. It was fun.
Awesome. And I'm glad you enjoyed the experience. And
I learned more about vegan.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm serious. I'm going to look up that vegan whipped cream.
It's like.
I'm going to have to taste it.
It's like a whole different freaking world, but at the same time, bucks. That's what I'm saying. Bucks.
Because, I'm thinking it's just almond milk with powdered sugar.
They have plant-based meats now, proteins.
No, I'm talking about the whipped topping. The whipped cream.
It's made out of, if I'm not mistaken, cashew. Because they replace all that with cashew, because cashew gets creamy when you blend it.
So does almond milk. That's how I make my oatmeal now.
Coconut milk too, all kind. I mean, there's so many options now.
Ooh, coconut milk.
You'll be surprised. Like,
have you ever had a tres leches cake with coconut milk?
No, but I was thinking, how can there be a tres leches cake without having
coconut milk?
Yeah, with coconut milk and make it tres leches. Yeah, exactly. And then
you can do coconut milk, almond milk, and
I thought about that before too.
You know what? We
use 3 milks.
Let's do a show on that. Let's try to make a tres leches cake with a vegan style.
I'm telling you,
that would be something.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come back another, because I think we have a couple of things we didn't touch. But again, if you ever want to, let me know. We'll make it happen. And again, I appreciate it. Thank you. Salud. I wish you nothing but luck. Congratulations on your new job and everything that you're doing. And again, look her up. And she's doing amazing things.
And don't forget to come visit us in Wiley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our Puffy Tacos are thebomb.com, but it's the dessert.
The desserts.
It's the desserts.
I do see them. They look pretty good.
And they're sugar free.
We'll post them in the menu. Are they sugar free?
No.
Are you messing with me? We'll post them on the Instagram.
Didn't you see me like when your grandma tells you don't tell your grandpa? Winking the eye.
All right. Well, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for joining another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. My name is Crispin Valentin. Remember, we are just like you. We are the spice in this melting pot that it is the world.